Hi friends! So today I wanted to make a video to talk about sort of beginning your Lula business. My name is Heidi Pritchett. I am still in the queue for Lularoe. I'm not exactly sure what my queue date is actually. I was just thinking about this today. So I submitted all my paperwork on the 28th of July and I still haven't gotten my call, but so I'm about, I don't know, over 60 days now, so maybe 65 days from submitting all my paperwork. But I kind of joined on when they were switching their process of onboarding over, so I don't exactly know what that means, and hope to find out soon, but we'll see. I'm being patient. Alright, so I wanted to talk to you about some of the processes that I've set up already, and my thoughts on inventory, my thoughts on purchasing, percentages, taxes, and investment. My qualifications, I'll start with that, for giving you guys these types of tips is that my husband and I own our own business. We're very, very successful. We have a diesel mechanic business and we do studio repair, and I've kind of been there along the way to help him set up everything, all of his office processes. I also worked for UCLA for 2 years in their IT department. Their library IT department. There's two, or way more than one. And I did all of the purchasing, inventory management, security systems, office space organization, all of pretty much the way that we handled all of our physical items. So I do have quite a bit of experience in setting things up. Of course, this is very different because I don't have access to the software yet, but software, I feel like once you've sort of been in a few purchasing platforms and inventory management platforms, they all kind of are about the same, just how you play with them. The one thing that I was always trying to do when I was setting up an office process, which if you've never really understood, or not understood, but I didn't know about office processes until I was in college, but an office process pretty much entails the way that you're going to do your workflow. It's your workflow. So I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to set up my workflow, and I think by sharing that I could maybe help with you guys. Now, one of the things that I used to do was set up workflows where it sort of didn't matter who the person was in that position. It was the workflow for the position. So you could take any one person and put them in that position, and they could pick things up and run things the exact same way. Now, with Lularoe, the awesome part is that we don't have to do that. This is our Lularoe. Sorry, the lighting is so weird in this room. This is our Lularoe. We don't have to make it so that anybody can walk in. It's going to be very unlikely that somebody else is going to be doing your work for you. And if they are, you're probably going to show them how to do it first. One of the things I wanted to start talking about is sort of my ideas so far. I've decided I'm going to be joining in hopefully this month, maybe next month at the longest. That would mean I was in the queue for 3 months or 4 months. So it'll be during busy season. So we're going to be going into the season of many people buying for holidays. And one of the downsides of starting during busy season is that we're going to have to wait a whole nother year for things to kind of pick up again. So my plan is actually to kind of not ease into having an inventory. I'm planning on actually investing about $12,000 to $13,000 off the bat into my inventory. Now, I'm going to try and do this as how to explain, slow and fast as possible. I'm not just going to do giant orders, I'm going to sort of break them up so that way I don't get a ton of duplicates. That's what I've kind of seen, and people have said is one of the best ways of doing it, is sort of doing smaller orders every single day, so that way somebody different is picking from different bins, and so hopefully you'll get kind of a broader variety. The other thing that I've been looking at is percentages of how I'm going to break up my money coming in. Now, I'm in slightly a different boat where we own our own business, like I said, so we are in a completely different tax bracket than most people. So I will be saving about 30% of my profits. Most people, 25% is totally enough and will cover it, and you might have some to spare, which would be awesome. Take a trip, have to pay your taxes if you have something left over. Most likely I will not have anything left over. My husband's even thinking maybe we should do 35% just to be safe, but I figured, since it'll be only a few months of doing it before the end of the year, I'll do 30% and kind of see where I'm at. And then if I need to adjust and do 35%, I will. So it kind of cuts into my profits quite a bit. Now, I will say, as far as taxes go, we are so lucky that Lularoe does the sales tax for us. Thank you. Because for our company, we actually have to track sales tax and then pay sales tax back to the state at the end of the year for any of the parts that we sell. So, yay, we don't have to do that. It was one of the things I was very worried about when I looked into Lularoe. I really was scared of having to do that because it's so much to track. It's just another thing that takes a lot of time. Okay, so now processes. Let's see how I can do this and sort of explain what some of the things that I'm thinking now. Of course, we're missing the whole bless and build portion of it. I'm planning on, once I do order, sort of making more videos that include how I sort of handle things. I'm hoping to have screenshots, and that was also one of the things that I did also when I was at UCLA, is working for the IT department, is I would do a lot of like step-by-step instructions for software. So I think it's actually super helpful, and especially if I get team members under me, that way it would be so much easier for you guys if any of you join my team. Now, one of the things that, I don't know if you can see in the background here, I've got all of my hangers hanging up. I'm prepped. I have everything. Like, these are boxes of business cards, thank you cards, scratchers. I went on Etsy and used some of those people. I don't know how home office feels about doing that, not using our own or making our own, but I'm not good at graphics, so I figure paying somebody else some money to do it, and they look cute, and I have everything now. So I have everything before I even get my stuff. So the day that I get my call, the next couple days, I can start passing out my business cards. I can start doing those things. Marketing, I think, is one of the bigger things that you have to work on now. There's more consultants. I think in my town alone, I think there's maybe 6 or 7 others, and there could be more. Those are just the ones that I know about. So I have to kind of set myself apart from them. What makes me different? Now, the thing that I'm going to do is I want to try and have a very large inventory. I want a minimum of 2,000 pieces, if not up to 5,000. I'm not sure what that'll look like right now. I'm lucky that I have the space to do that. My husband and I do have a warehouse, so if I get to a crazy place where I completely just max out my home, I will move to our warehouse and set things up there. I know other people don't have that luxury, but having 2,000 pieces as opposed to 1,000 pieces will make others in your community feel like, okay, I know that by going to this one person, she will most likely have something that I will like. And that is much better than, well, I'll go to this girl, and if she doesn't have anything, then I can go to this girl and this girl. So definitely having a larger inventory in the end is better. Now, that being said, that means that there's a lot more that your work that you're going to have to do to maintain that inventory. So, of course, the cost of just having a place to store it, your racks, your hangers, all of those things. Then there's the mental aspect of that inventory, which I know sounds a little odd, but it's a lot. One of the things that I've done this in the past twice. I've had my own eBay company where I liquidated some of our abandoned freight in our warehouse, and it was a lot of work. I mean, I had 1,000 pallets that I was breaking down and binning and going through inventorying, and you're sort of keeping a mental note because people are asking you, hey, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And so having a large inventory can be very daunting mentally. So you sort of have to be very good about keeping on top of it. Inventory integrity was something that I preached about at UCLA, that I was like, okay, you guys, here's my system. If you walk into my spaces, they were mine because I did them. I spent so much time in them. If you walk into my, warehousing space and you pull something from the bin, here is what you need to do. Do not mess with my inventory integrity. Now, the nice thing about this is that it'll pretty much just be me, my own space, my own inventory. It's good. So that'll be a nice part. One of the things that I know that there's some different schools of thought on letting people go through your inventory, so making things not easy for them to find, having it not so organized, which I think is great as far as retail goes. So that's like a retail theory. But for me, mine's probably going to be pretty organized because I come from a purchasing inventory background. And so I did go ahead and buy these little, I don't know if you can see that, lighting is awful, clips for the hangers. And those I will put on, I got them all different colors because I want a visual cue for inventory. A visual cue is something that's also extremely useful when you're looking at your inventory in a broad sense. When you go to do your purchasing, you can look at your rack and say, oh my gosh, I only see 3 oranges over there. What size is that again? Let me run over and see what it is. And I can go ahead and check and know right away, okay, I need to order, at least 10 small perfect teas. So those for me, I think are going to be huge. Any type of visual cues that you can use to keep things in order are going to be helpful. I am planning on using Row With Me. My team uses Row With Me, so that'll be a huge help in inventory. I prefer to have things digitized, but you still have to do both. You have to have digital, you have to have visual. It's part of inventory. So that way you know when things are low without actually having to look it up and spend the time to recount your numbers. That's what's going to take you the longest, is if you have to double check the integrity of your inventory. We've kind of seen a breakdown of that with the TC leggings, so it is important because home office, or not home office, but the warehouse had issues with that, a glitch in the system that showed the wrong inventory numbers. It's huge to have correct inventory. So that is sort of what I have right now. As I continue on and I get the items in, there will be, I'll sort of evaluate the process, and I'm going to go through and pretty much spell out exactly how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, how many days I'm going to sell, live sales, all that. I'm going to hit the streets. I have door hangers. I'm going to go put them on all my neighbors. I have so many neighbors. I live in the suburbs of LA. And I mean, I'm within 5 miles, probably surrounded by, I don't know, 10,000 houses. So I'm going to be walking a lot, which is good. My trainer will like that. So anyway, hoping to find out some answers about Q stuff. If you guys are confused about anything about like Q questions, because there, I'm sure, are a whole big group of us that were in between the Q dates of, you know, I filled out all the paperwork for the old way of doing the Q, and then now there's a new way, and so I had to do that also. I have no idea where I am. So if you have questions also, you know, feel free to kind of tag them on. If I find out some answers, I will definitely make another video and post it, so that way we all are a little less confused and just sort of know where we are. I mean, the best thing about Lularoe is that they try to be as, what's the word I'm looking for? Crystal as possible, I guess. You know, they want us to know exactly what's going on at all times, and they're very open and honest with us, which is very, very nice. It's definitely helpful for morale inside the company. So, love this company so far. I'm really excited to do it. So just, yeah, let me know. And again, my name is Heidi Pritchett, and if you want to follow me on Lularoe Heidi Pritchett on Facebook, I would love it. All right, so thank you, and follow me on YouTube.